A good night in the mighty name of Jesus. Right, so a long time, it's a while I really post anything. But when I was working, right, and I was getting real frustrated trying to get um to get the work done. Because a creative piece and like it just wasn't flowing. Every time I get it somewhere, I feel like it's not enough. I feel like I can't. Nah, it ain't good to hand up yet. It need more, it need more, it need more. And I started listening. I put the Bible on audio and I started listening it. And I read Ephesians, you know, before. But then this verse here, just shout out at me. And I just wanted to share it. But it's not the whole chapter, you know. But I'm going to start from the beginning, right? So it's Ephesians 6, chapter 6, right? Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. So he started off with you as a child. He started off real small. He talking to you even when you're small. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Right? Um, then it goes down here on verse 2. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise. So he's saying honor them, you know, like treat them with respect, right? That it may be well. So he tell you the first commandment with promise, and he giving you the promise there that it may be well with you, and you may live long on the earth. You understand? So you see now sometimes as like in a youthful things not well with you, and I seen a lot of youths dying. You have to check it, yeah, check back this verse from the top, right? See if they obey their parents in the Lord. You understand? That is those who God put in charge of you to give you the word. You understand? See if they obeying their parents in the Lord. The ones who growing up in, and it don't necessarily have to be your mother and your father who growing you up in the Lord. Obey your parents in the Lord. So it could be like your godmother. Your godmother is really a woman of God, and she just tell you about the scriptures and stuff, and she give you instruction, obey it. You understand? She tell you, hey, not to do this because it's a sin unto God. Don't do it. You understand? Then he come and he say, honor thy mother and thy father. So he said, watch me. Hey, respect thy mother and thy father. You understand? Know your place with them. So if you see you're not living well, you understand? And you see that hey, a lot of youths dying, check to see if the life line up with one and two. All right? And then now we talking to parents, to the father here now, and four here now. And you fathers, do not provoke your children to wrath, but bring them up in training and admonition of the Lord. So bring them up in training. So train them, you understand? Um, and make them to know the Lord, right? Make them to know and fear the Lord. But while I was working, it's from 5 already stick out to me, right? Born servant, so he moved past as a child, then he moved to a youth, and now he moved to the working class here. So he's saying, bond servants, be obedient to those who are your masters according to the flesh, with fear and trembling, in sincerity of heart as to Christ. I was like, wow. So you can't be a Christian and then balling. When somebody tell you, well, your boss calling you, nah, God is my boss. I not on that. You know, sometimes we just get online that, you understand? And I was guilty of that too, you understand? But when I read this verse, I realize, watch me, I had to start this from parents, then to workers, then to my employer here, you know. If I say I love Christ, you understand? Or I say hey, I following Jesus, you know. I made up my mind to go God's way the rest of my life. If I sing in that, here's what God's saying here, you know, in His word here, you know. To be obedient to your masters with fear and trembling, you know, and your masters according to the flesh. He was real Pacific, according to the flesh. You understand? So he talking about your boss at work, your supervisor, the CEO, your chief, your director. You understand? And then he goes down in detail, not with eye service, as men pleasers, but as bondservant of Christ, doing the will of God from the heart. So he said, don't do it as, you know, sometimes we mama guy, we are boss. You understand? He said, do it unto me, you know, do it unto God. You understand? He said, do it unto God. Serve them. Serve that company you're working for. Be obedient to the people who put in charge of you. As if it's unto God, you know. So your work there had to please God, you know. You understand? I was like, wow. Wow. And then he goes on, the real go on here, you know. With goodwill, doing service as to the Lord and not to man. So again, he's saying, watch me, with goodwill, doing service. You understand? So you're doing your work unto God and not to man, as to the Lord and not to men. So sometimes we boss tell we do something and we do it good, you understand? Or we do it real good and we're excited for we boss to see it. He's saying, hold up the top here. He said, do this unto me, and I do this unto the Lord, and I do this unto God, and not unto the man, you know. So you getting excited that you want your boss to see it and be pleased and give you a raise. He said, nah. You understand? Whereas it could happen as that is not why you doing it. You doing it in obedience to God. Is you and God. Knowing that whatever good anyone does, he will receive the same from the Lord, whether he is a slave or free. So whether you're saved or whether you're a Christian or not a Christian, whether you're saved or not saved, he's talking to you. You understand? Knowing that whatever good anyone does, he will receive the same from the Lord, whether he is a slave or free. And you, master. So now he going on to talking about how the employer should treat the employee. You understand? But I think I will save that for our next video. Alright, so people, your employer is somebody to be obedient to, just as your parents, just as your mother and father. Your employer is somebody to be obedient to. Right? That is not my words, that is the word of God. All right. So somebody, Jesus, you know, Jesus.